The Mummers Parade in Philadelphia is held on each New Year's Day. Starting all the way back in 1901, it is the longest running continuous folk parade in the United States. What I wanted to focus on in this video was a division known as the string bands. The string band division is the musical highlight of the Mummers Parade. Bands known for their happy music and their elaborate costuming. They've been participating since the 1901 parade, really as a novelty, but that continued to grow, and in 1915 the string band division was formed. The string band sound is extremely unique due to its instrumental makeup. It's a sound unlike no other. For many years their presentations would be performed as a marching band style drill. Then in 1976 this changed when the first dance routines were really presented as part of the presentation. Since that time, the use of props has also been incorporated. For years, it was simply used as a backdrop or as mainly a individual piece to highlight one portion of the show. As props got to become more elaborate, they were still restricted in how they could be used due to the rules that the string bands enforced. Then in 2004, that all changed. As wheels were permitted and multiple hands were allowed to be used on the props, the presentations that these bands have put on since that time have become more like a 4.5-minute Broadway spectacle. Now that it's 2024, because the 2021 parade was canceled due to the COVID pandemic, we have 20 parades to look back on under this new rule set. While some rules have changed here and there, these shows are still extremely elaborate with huge props, and I thought it would be a fun idea to rank the top 20 performances of the past 20 years. I didn't want this list to be one of my opinion or what my favorite performance was. So the way that I have determined this ranking is by number one, only looking at the performances that won first prize in these 20 years. I then broke down the different categories that each band was judged on for their given parade, being music playing, music effect, visual performance, and their general effect. Based on how many of these categories the band won, then adding into their margin of victory as to how many points they won by over second place in that given year, I've been able to determine a ranking from 20 to number 1 of the best performances of the string bands for the past 20 years. So starting off our list at number 20, well, it's the Quaker City String Band from 2023 with their theme, Monster Movie Mayhem. Now this was a phenomenal production with a total score of 97.25, but we have them listed at number 20 because of the 4 categories that they are judged on, they only placed first in one, which was general effect. Now they did get second place in music playing, second place in music effect, and second place in visual performance, and this was a phenomenal show, but based on my criteria, that has this performance from 2023 as my number 20 of the best string band performances of the past 20 parades. Coming in at number 19 is the South Philadelphia String Band from 2016 with their theme, Dia de los Muertos. Now, South Philly this year put on a phenomenal visual performance, which they scored first place in, and also first place in their general effect. They got third place in music playing, third place in music effect, and won over second place by 0.35 points. So it was a very close race in 2016. But that places this performance as number 19 on our list. Coming in at number 18, it's the Woodland String Band from 2012 with their theme, It's a Jungle Out There. Now, Woodland got first place in music effect and first place in visual performance, second place in general effect, and third place in music playing. They did win by a margin of 1 point over second place in 2012, but winning 50% of the categories out there has them ranked as the 18th best performance of the string bands in the past 20 parades. Coming in at number 17 is the Fralinger String Band from 2013. This was after Fralinger went on an epic run of winning 8 parades in a row. There was 2 years they didn't claim the top prize, but came back with their theme, Back from the Dead. In 2013, Fralinger won first place in music effect and first place in general effect, second place in music playing, and second place in visual performance, and won by a margin of victory with 0.6 points. A wonderful presentation that has them ranked as the number 17th best parade put on by a string band in the past 20 years. For number 16, we're going to year 2017 with the Quaker City String Band and their theme, Winter is Coming. An absolutely unbelievable opening to their performance. This band got first place in music playing, first place in visual performance, second place in music effect, and second place in general effect, and won first prize over second place with a total of 1.05 point differential. A wonderful performance coming from Quaker City in 2017, and I have them ranked as the 16th best string band performance in the past 20 years. Next on the list at number 15 is from 2011, the Quaker City String Band, My Kind of Clown. This performance ended the 8-year winning streak by Fralinger. Quaker City in 2011 got first place in music effect, first place in general effect, and second place in music playing and visual performance. They overcame second place by a total of 2.1 points, so a pretty big margin of victory for this year. And this has the 2011 performance from Quaker City ranked at number 15 on my list. Next up at number 14, it's the Fralinger String Band from 2015 with their theme, The Machine. They took first place in 3 of the 4 categories, being music effect, visual performance, and general effect, and placed third in music playing. That gave them a 1.2 point differential over second place, and this 2015 performance from Fralinger is ranked as the number 14th best string band performance in the past 20 parades. At number 13, it's the Quaker City String Band again from 2019 with their theme, Last But Not Least. They won 3 of the 4 categories, including music playing, visual performance, and general effect. They placed third in music effect and had a point differential of 1.52 over second place that year. Had a tremendous total score of 97.9, so this was a very good year for not just Quaker City, but for all string bands. But this high score and coming third place in music effect has them as our 13th best performance from a string band in the past 20 parades. At number 12, I have ranked the Fralinger String Band from 2007 with their theme, One in Spirit. Fralinger that year took first place in music effect, first place in visual performance, first place in general effect, and second place in music playing. Less than a point differential over second place, only a .625 margin of victory, but still a great performance from Fralinger in 2007. And they have my spot at number 12 of the best performances in the past 20 parades. Coming in the 11th spot is this year's champion, the South Philadelphia String Band, and their theme, Christmas Bazaar. South Philly took home first place in music effect, visual performance, and general effect, and second place in music playing, so not a clean sweep of all the categories, and they did have a margin of victory of 1.35. That ranks them as the 11th best performance in the past 20 parades. And breaking into the top 10, it's the South Philadelphia String Band from 2020 with their theme, Carousel. South Philly had first place in music effect, first place in visual performance, and first place in general effect, second place in music playing, and a point differential over second place of 1.45. Not quite breaking the top 10, but this is right in the middle, and this 2020 performance by South Philly I have ranked as the 10th best performance of the past 20 parades. And breaking into the top 10 at number 9, it's South Philadelphia String Band again, this time from 2018 with their theme, West in Peace. South Philly took home first place in music playing, music effect, and visual performance this year, and second place in general effect, a point differential over second of 1.65, giving them the ninth best performance and production from a string band in the past 20 parades. The number 8 spot is going to go to the Fralinger String Band from 2010, Fralinger Feudin', Fussin', and Fightin'. Fralinger took home first place in music effect, visual performance, and general effect, second place in music playing, and had a point differential over second place of a 1.75. So a pretty dominant performance that year by Fralinger, and I have them ranked as the 8th best string band performance in the past 20 parades. At the number 7 spot goes to the South Philadelphia String Band from 2022 with their theme, Circus Spacetacular. South Philly took first place in music playing, visual performance, and general effect, second place in music effect, and a margin of victory of 2.2 points. So a very wide margin of victory and an overall score of 97.2. So a very powerful performance that puts them at the 7th spot on my list of the best string band performances in the past 20 parades. In the number 6 spot, it goes to the Fralinger String Band from 2009 with the theme, Your Wish is Our Command. We have now reached the point where we are getting to where every band won every single category, and the determination on their ranking goes by their point differential over second place. Fralinger won first place in each category and had a 1.45 point differential over second place in 2009, and that ranks them as the 6th best performance from a string band in the past 20 parades. Breaking into the top 5, we are going to start with the Fralinger String Band from 2008. They also win for one of the longest themes ever, Grab Your Partner, Swing Them Round. Fralinger is Westward Bound. But Fralinger swept the board, winning every category, and had a point differential over second place of 1.925, so a very dominant performance in 2008. And that performance I have ranked as the 5th best, number 5, on my best performances from a string band in the past 20 years. At the number 4 spot, it is going to come from 2014, the Quaker City String Band with their theme, California, Here We Mum. Sweeping the board, winning first place in every category, and a 2.35 margin of victory over second place. This was a pretty spectacular presentation, especially all the gold that you see. Very impressive. And I have ranked this 2014 performance from Quaker City as the 4th best performance from a string band in the past 20 parades. The top 3 spots all go to the Fralinger String Band, and it's all from 2004 to 2006. But in the 3rd spot, I have ranked a 2005 performance with Fralinger's theme, Gypsy Fortunes. This won first place in each category and had a margin of victory of 3.125 over second place. One of the most dominant performances, except for the 2 and number 1 spot. But the fact that these 3 were done 3 years in a row was pretty impressive by Fralinger. But coming in at that 3rd spot is the 2005 performance, Gypsy Fortunes. And that takes us to number 2, again, Fralinger String Band. This time it's going to be from 2006 with their theme, Viva Latina, sweeping the board in every category, a margin of victory of 3.625 over second place. Quite a show, quite a score, quite a performance. I have them ranked as number 2, only behind one other performance, which brings us to our number 1 spot, and it belongs to Fralinger String Band. In the year 2004, the first year these big props were allowed, really changed the game moving forward. But it was Fralinger with their theme, Swashbucklers Serenade, winning first place in every category, a monstrous 3.75 points over second place, and a total score of 97.875 out of 100. So one of the best scores, especially looking back in the past 20 years. And in my opinion, and based on the numbers, this is your best performance from a string band in the past 20 parades. I also want to give a thanks to the website String Band Database and their record keeping of all the scores from over the years. That's how I was able to draw up these numbers. So a big thanks to everyone who keeps that website alive. So that concludes my list of the top 20 performances from a string band in the past 20 parades dating back to 2004. What do you think of my list? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are there any other lists that you'd like to see? Let me know. I enjoy doing these videos. If you can help me out with a like and a share, and let your other mum friends know that this list is out there. And if there's enough feedback, maybe I'll do some future videos like this.